Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be talking about gematria, which is the process of coding letters into numbers, and how they're bringing back the television show Roseanne, and how it syncs up with this Blues Traveler theme that I keep seeing. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is the first time I ever saw Blues Traveler live, which is the only time at this point. I saw them at the Stir Cove in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Stir Cove has 39 and 51. And in August, I'm planning a trip out to Red Rocks with a friend of mine to see him out there. Red Rocks, 39 and 51. Now, Blues Traveler is 83, and Red Rocks is in Colorado, which is also 83. And how I keep seeing Blues Traveler is through a lot of older movies and things I've been watching. Some things I'd seen before and I completely forgot they were there, and other things I never even noticed they were there. Like, for instance, I've been rewatching all the old Roseanne episodes, and he was in an episode of that. And then I watched the movie Kingpin, which I hadn't seen in forever, and I forgot he was in it, which is kind of funny. I was watching it, and they're at the bowling tournament in Las Vegas, and I noticed the announcer. I thought, man, that guy looks really familiar. I think that's John Popper. So I looked up the movie, and of course he was there. And then at the end of the movie, Blues Traveler even plays one of their songs. And of course he was in Blues Brothers 2000, which I thought was interesting. Blues Brothers 2000 was released on February 6th, which is the 37th day of the year. And 37 is a big number for me, so this is where I kind of started thinking that maybe this is why I'm seeing all these things. I'm supposed to see these things. My name, Sam Moores, is 37, and also is 125. Roseanne is 37, 44, and 125. The movie Kingpin is 37, 44. And Harrah's, which is the casino where Stir Cove is, where I saw Blues Traveler, is 37 and 44. And Chicago ties into this too. This TV show Roseanne takes place in Lanford, which I believe it's a suburb of Chicago. I believe, I'm not quite sure, but Chicago is also 37. And one of my old blog posts, I talked about I had a poster on my wall when I was a kid. It was a nighttime picture of Chicago. It was the tall buildings lit up at night. And I believe I experienced astral projection, which is what I was writing the post about. And I thought I was flying over Chicago. And that's the reason why, is because the poster, the only time I've been to Chicago was back in 91, and I wasn't very old, and I don't really remember it, and we were just switching planes. We were on our way out to North Carolina, but anyways, in the episode of Roseanne where John Popper is in it, and he plays a different character, and the band name's different, but it's Blues Traveler. Dan gets on stage and sings a song called Sweet Home Chicago. And on the soundtrack to the movie Blues Brothers 2000, the first song is Born in Chicago, which is uh, kind of worth noting that both John Goodman and John Popper were both in Blues Brothers 2000, and they share the stage together in that episode of Roseanne. But Born in Chicago is 118. Sam Moore's My Name Again is 118. Now, the episode of Roseanne with John Popper and Blues Traveler is called Of Mice and Dan. And Ray Ray Wilson has a value of 46. I was born, my birthday's on November 15th, which leaves 46 days left in the year. I'll bring up the calculator and I'll go over some of this next stuff. All right. So the episode of Roseanne is Of Mice and Dan, which is 53. And then here's my name, I'm connected again, 53. Then you have the word harmonica, which is what John Popper and Blues Traveler are most known for, which is 53 and 46. Remember, November 15th leaves 46 days left in the year. You have John Goodman is 53 and 46. And you have Ray Wilson, who was the character on that episode of Roseanne that John Popper played. It's 46, 53. And then Council Bluffs, which is the town in Iowa where I saw Blues Traveler, is 53. And then you have Chicago again, which is 46. And then here we'll bring up John Goodman again. John Goodman is 116, just like Harrah's. Right here, reverse, and Harrah's is the casino that has the Stir Cove where I saw Blues Traveler. And we'll just add on this here, Harrah's Casino is, I forgot here, looking for 82. Oh man, it's not spelled right. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. Harrah's Casino, 82. Harmonica, 82. And I thought it was worth mentioning a girl I used to date about 3 or 4 years ago. She had told me that at one point in time she had lived in Louisiana. She has family that lives down there, and she moved down there and lived with them for about a year. And I don't remember the name of the town, but I believe she said it was a smaller town right outside of New Orleans. And she said John Goodman lived in that town too, and she would occasionally see him at the local gas station. So I thought that was worth noting. It was kind of weird. But just to add to these things, a couple nights ago, I was going back through, like I said, I've been going back through and rewatching all the episodes of Roseanne, and I just got to season 9, and I'd completely forgotten that Blues Traveler actually did all the music for the TV show during that season. So that was pretty interesting. But I also noticed that Jim Varney has a character, and he was on the show. And as I've talked about before, I have a video on Jim Varney. I wanted to talk about him for a long time because he has synchronicities with my grandpa. They both died in 2000. They both had lung cancer. They were both named James, and they both went by Jim. So that's why Jim Varney was always significant to me. But in this show, he played Prince Carlos, who was the love interest of Roseanne's sister, Jackie, who is played by the actress Laurie Metcalf. And I thought, well, this is kind of interesting, and because I knew that she's on Toy Story. She was the voice of Andy's mom on Toy Story, and Jim Varney was also in Toy Story. He was the voice of Slinky Dog. So once again, there was some synchronicity there, and so here, let's go. This is one thing I noticed there too is Jim Varney is 126. And Laurie Metcalf. I'm not spelling something right here. There we go, 126. Maybe I missed it before. But yeah, Jim Varney and Laurie Metcalf are both 26. So I just wanted to make this video because these things just keep happening and they keep, it's just interrelated somehow. And I thought I was tied to it, so it was something that I'm supposed to see and maybe it's something I'm supposed to be following. But yeah, there you go. And strange things happen like this all the time. If you pay attention, you start noticing these things. All right. Anyways, peace.